so fine, your kiss is one of a kind. Beauty and charm, let's walk arm in arm and hold tight and never let go. Oh, sweet love, I knew when I laid eyes on you, and you felt what I felt too. One single glance led to romance.
Good evening. Today is Friday, February 12, 2021, here in Cebu City. I'm Chari Coronel, and this is SunStar Tonight. Tourists from other provinces will soon be allowed to visit Cebu Province. The Cebu Provincial Tourism Task Force has agreed to welcome tourists from outside Cebu to further boost the economic activity in the province, based on the latest guidelines issued by the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. Areas under Modified General Community Quarantine or MGCQ and GCQ can now cross borders with minimum requirements. Tourists who wish to visit Cebu Province will only need to show their pre-booked reservations, while those who want to experience the different tourism activities will have to register ahead at the capital's booking portal. Quoted from Cebu News, Cebu Governor Gwendolyn Garcia said, "Opening of tourism will be a step to moving forward." The province of Cebu has also eased the restrictions for Apur and non-Apur entering the province's towns and component cities. Apur will not be required to undergo mandatory testing or quarantine protocols of the local government unit or LGU of their destination. For non-Apur, they can enter Cebu Province as long as they can present a valid medical certificate and likewise pass symptoms checking or screening at the point of departure and at the point of arrival. 6 out of 8 barangay isolation centers in Cebu City, which have reopened early this month, are now being occupied by COVID-19 patients. Kenneth Torres reports.
6 out of 8 reopened barangay isolation centers in Cebu City are being utilized to house coronavirus disease patients. On top of the BICs, there are also 4 hotels in Cebu City which are being used as isolation facility. City Councilor Joel Garganera, the Deputy Chief Implementer of the Emergency Operations Center, said they are looking at 11 BICs to be opened. However, it will still depend on the situation of the COVID-19 cases in the city. He added, as of February 11, 313 COVID patients are staying in 6 BICs in the city. Of these 6 BICs, 300 beds are still available. The 2 unoccupied BICs can accommodate up to 160 COVID-19 patients. In terms of the hotels, there are 95 occupied beds, while there are still 12 available. Garganera said the Hotel, Resort and Restaurant Association of Cebu will provide more list of hotels to be accredited as isolation facility. In NOAA Complex, there are still 37 beds available, while 396 have been occupied. In Cebu City Quarantine Center, which can accommodate patients with severe conditions, still have 45 beds available, while 115 beds have been occupied. While only 45% of the total bed capacity of the Bayanihan Cebu IEC Field Center, located at the International Eucharistic Congress Convention Center along Pope John Paul II Avenue, is occupied as of February 10. Kenneth Torres, SunStar Tonight.
The Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases has now allowed the reopening of cinemas in areas under Modified General Community Quarantine and GCQ. However, Cebu City will not implement the new guideline yet. Cebu City Councilor Joel Garganera, the Deputy Chief Implementer of the Emergency Operations Center or EOC, said the city has been coordinating with cinema operators even before the announcement of the IATF. Garganera said cinema operators understood the stand of the city in prohibiting their operations yet. Cebu City recorded 170 new cases yesterday, bringing the total active cases to 2,671 as of February 11. The city is under MGCQ until February 28. Aside from the cinemas, the IATF has also allowed museums, theme parks, and other leisure establishments to reopen. The facilities should also strictly observe the minimum public health standards. The IATF also approved the conduct of religious gatherings for up to 50% of the seating capacity of the venue. However, their operations are subject to the implementing guidelines to be issued by the local government units. All arriving passengers in Cebu City seaports will no longer be brought to the staging area at the back of Malacanang sa Cebu building for the screening procedures. Kenneth Torres reports.
The Cebu Port Authority or CPA has stopped its shuttle services for all inbound passengers, including locally stranded individuals or LSIs and authorized persons outside of residence, from the sea vessel to the port staging area at the back of the Malacanang sa Cebu building since yesterday, February 11. This came after the Cebu City government has ceased screening procedures for all arriving passengers in the staging area. In the past months, CPA had been providing 3 shuttles for passengers arriving via Pier 1 in Cebu City and 3 other shuttles for passengers arriving in Pier 3. On August last year, the city government required all inbound passengers to be brought to the staging area upon disembarkation for orientation of the city's basic health protocols. CPA said they have no idea yet as to when and why the city stopped its screening process in the designated screening area. As a result, passengers can already leave the port upon arrival and disembarkation. They are reminded to strictly follow the minimum health and safety protocols. Kenneth Torres, SunStar Tonight.
To get the latest, visit www.sunstar.com.ph. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our social media accounts on Twitter and Facebook. I'm Chare Coronel. This has been SunStar Tonight. See you again next week. Good night.